welcome back to me Chanel. Like my outfit? That's my friend. She's like everything to me. She's my little motto for all of my hats and stuff. Created by choice, baby. Wait, why is that not? That's not even focused. Why is that not focused? Well, it says created by choice, so. And this one is live to create, create to live. One of my little slogans. Oh my gosh, everything is just broken on me today. As you guys know, we're kind of switching some things up a little bit on Creative by Choice. And I did the reintroduction of Creative by Choice the last 2 weeks, part 1 and 2, and we just really talked about, healing and, never giving up on your dream or your goal. The thing is, you just don't do that. You just don't give up. You always keep with it, no matter what anybody says. I actually saw something recently where someone was like, oh, if the door hasn't opened, then it may not be for you. When it's like, wait a minute, because you can't say that. Because at the end of the day, it may not have been the door, it may not have been the way you were supposed to maneuver in that thing, or you weren't consistent enough. So don't let people and their little stuff deter you from who you know, who or God ordained you to be, or who you know, whatever your dreams are. Like, never do that. Like, screw them people. Them people are weird. I talked about creating the way you see your future, creating your the way people see you. You have the power to create. Be that hairstyles, be that a future, be that a business, be that your relationship, be that whatever it is for you. There is going to be a process of changing. Okay? When you're going to be changing throughout that whole journey, throughout that whole process, especially if you're putting God first, if you're going into anything spiritually, if you're starting to, and that's really what I kind of stand for. That's really what I stand for, is putting God first, because you really, for real, can't heal without the power of God. You can't do much without the power of God. Like, I'm so sorry. You can't. You can make a few dollars. You can, maybe even get to the top. You can start a business. You can do all those things. But the longevity and the real promise behind that comes from the power of God. All right, so I have notes here because I'm getting like what I want to say totally and stuff like that. So I will say, so I'm going to read a lot of it, guys. But changing and growing through Christ is not easy. Very, very, very much so necessary. Growing through. For me, it was challenging, and for most people, it's challenging because the world has so many things to offer. Like smoking and drinking and partying and listening to the secular music and all these other things. And being in Christ is really none of that. You do have a choice, but it's not, any of that. But there was a time that I did all those things and I was still, being blessed. I was still, feeling like, oh, okay, well, I'm good. I believe in God. It is what it is. Okay, cool. Oh my gosh, I can't hold this thing. I was still believing in God. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to be all up in the Bible and be a Bible thumper and be all like into this whole super spiritual, super Christian thing, because I'm getting blessed. I'm getting all the things I want. Like, really? What is it? But what you don't realize is those things are small things to a giant compared to what God has for you. Like what God really can deliver to you and deliver you through first, and then deliver, like have just for you on the other side, just on the start of the other side. Like not even in your fullest purpose, just when you start to get out of the healing and just at the start of the process. Just wanting to do it. He's like, oh, word? Good for real? I got you, girl. Come on this side. It's like a parent for real. When your parent's proud that you're actually doing what they know you should be doing, it's like, yes. I mean, even through that, like when I first started getting through to that side, I was still making excuses. Like I would still be like, yeah, I don't really know, because like I said, I was smoking, drinking, doing all those things. So I'm like, I would tell myself like, I mean, it's cool. Like even when I started to see certain blessings manifest, I was like, but I mean, is it really because I'm trying to slow down on smoking and drinking? And the world really can convince you. Like even the pastors out here now that are on YouTube and on all these channels, they really can convince you that these things are good for you, like are okay, that you can still be blessed. And the world already is corrupt. Okay, first off. So it's like, and you when you really start to open your third eye and really start to really like look at things through a spiritual realm, you really start to see like, oh nah, y'all niggas tripping. Oh my mama. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like when people say the universe, and but I'll always say God. Like it's God's for me. For me it's God, and that's what it's always gonna be. But it's like a parent. It's like you still have free will to make those decisions. Like he can show you and give you a little taste of what it is that you want. And some people are okay with that. Like you could start like, I was a hairstylist and I wanted to start my hair business. And I didn't do good with it on the internet, but I was doing well. Like I was getting clients, all that. And I got so cocky. I'm like, I started my business. Like, I'm 29 years old, starting my hair business. Nothing you could say to me. Just got out of beauty school. Stop playing with me. And he was like, oh, all right. Everything started to go. No, actually, it just started to stay stagnant. Like, when I wanted more, it was like, but you're not giving more. You're not giving me more. I just knew that, baby, it's time for me to take it back a little bit. I know that God really has so much more in store for me if I really just sit down, buckle down, and get on the path, which doesn't seem as fun as the world, but everybody talks about they want peace. I promise you this is the side you find it on. I promise you, when you don't have to, you're not getting attacked by all the spirits or the alcohol. You're not worried about the weed and being tired and taking you think better on weed. You don't. You think that you're more clear-minded on weed. Ain't no way. Ain't no way with drugs that you actually, I do this because you're stressing me out. Then stop. Because that's what's stressing you. It's stressing you out that you have something to go to be unstressed. And then when it's time, you don't know how to deal with it. But the beauty of it all is with real healing and the process and growing and in Christ, you really start to get a clear idea of what your purpose is. Now, the thing about that is, it almost don't make sense to nobody. And that's the thing that the adversary tries to use to get you to go back to your default. Because when you start, like my thing is on social media. I need social media to promote. I don't get a lot of likes. I don't get not right now. I don't get a lot of views. But one thing that used to do was stop me. I used to be like, well, shoot, I can get a whole bunch of views if I go out here and shake my booty, but I don't get a whole bunch of views when I'm doing something productive. Does that mean that that's not what I'm supposed to do? No. It's just how much do you want it? Like, are you doing it for the likes, or are you doing this for longevity? Are you doing this for a purpose? You really start to really see and understand your purpose. And you start to understand what these tests are really for. And it's honestly crazy. And you guys, again, are seeing me go through my process. This time in 2 months. In 2 months, I'm not going to be the same. I'm not going to be in the same place. I'm not next month. I'm not going to be in this same place. I promise you. I know I'm not, because I wasn't last month and the month before. It's just I'm constantly elevating and growing, and sometimes it don't look like that always, but I promise you, like when I look back in like December, I was depressed every other day. I felt like, because I'm like, what is it like? Why is it not working out? And so when I was going to church, the pastor would always say, like, you want popcorn results. And I think that's a part of my test. And everyone's test is different. But because I do always I want the results quick. I want to see it right then and there, because that's what social media has given us. That's what the world shows us. The devil can show you that, like, oh, you want it now? Oh, go out there and sell these drugs, you'll get it. Go out here and strip real quick, you'll get all that bread. Go out here and scam somebody, you'll get that bread quick. And that's like really what you get used to. I'm not saying I was scamming anybody, but even with overcharging people for hairstyles, like, or overcharging people for some janky nail service, or, you know, like, all that. The process of it, it really, like I said, healing kind of shines a light on your purpose. It also shines a light on all the things that hindered you in the past, all the blockages, all the trauma, all the relationships, all the fear. It's wild, but those things become your test. And it's like, if you were fearful and you didn't believe in yourself, God is going to put you through a test of seeing if you're going to believe in yourself, if you're really serious this time, or if your thing was bad relationships and being narcissistic or having narcissistic tendencies like myself. God is going to put those things in your way. If your thing is, getting into relationships when you're on a path and then a relationship stop you, like myself, God is going to put that in your path to see, are you really ready? Are you really going to do this time? Are you really ready to change this time? Are you really ready to grow this time? And you sometimes, when you're inebriated or when you're still under the influence, you don't see it like that. You miss it. But when you're actually growing sober in Christ, he shows you. He really will show you these things. These are the things that you're dealing with. And at first you're like, well, why is this coming up again? And it's for me, it was starting to irritate me, really piss me off. If you want me to change, God, why would this continue to be a thing? And it's almost to see if you're serious. Because if these are things that are stopping you from what I need you to do, or what you're trying to create, then it ain't no point. It's no point of us doing this. It's no point of us even going down this path. I love you, you love me, God love you, God love me. But baby, it's no point. Sit down. For real. He really does go down the list of all those things that you dealt with and you tackle and you that held you back, and all those things, and you tackle them one by one. And I say it all the time. I'm still growing. It's not an everyday thing. I'm still healing. I'm still learning. And it's almost people are the Bible, oh God, do it for yourself. If loving yourself and putting yourself first wasn't something you would do, but you know you got a purpose and you know it's something you're trying to create, that's going to be a test. You're going to be tested with those things, but that is a part of the process, and it's not easy, and it's easy to go back to your default. I've had so many dreams about me smoking and drinking and masturbating and all this stuff, I've had so many dreams, like real life, like night dreams. And I will wake up thinking like I already did it. Like I did those things. Like that's how vivid the dreams were. And just like that, I could have went backwards, but I made it up in my mind. No, I'm not doing those things no more, because that's what the world has made acceptable. And it's just, honestly, it really don't serve you. And that's another thing, like when you really put the things into perspective that don't serve you, you just realize, like, for what? Like, what really, for? What for though? Like, why would I do that? Like, it just really don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Process though, like through God, through Christ, through God, through self-love and self-respect and healing, when you start to come out of that thing, it's like month by month, you just become more unrecognizable. People be like, what the heck are you talking about, girl? Because just last month, you cussed me at. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say this month I won't. But this time I may feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? But you really do. It's all a process. And it's all just a real journey. But it looks a lot different through Christ than through the world. The process usually starts with, so it's isolation, acknowledging, then you get the test, and then you grow in faith. And so then after the test and you start to grow in faith is because you start to see, once you get to a point where you start to pass them tests and you start to recognize the test and you start to realize like, these things are really, they keep coming. These same cycles keep coming because I ain't learned from them in the past. But when you start to learn and recognize those things, you start to have faith. Not only in God, but in yourself. In yourself. You start to really trust and believe like you can do it. And once you start to get past those things and start to have faith in yourself that you can get through those things, girl, baby, can't nothing stop you. Can't nothing stop you. Lord knows can't nothing stop you, Lord. Can't nothing stop you, Lord. I mean, I'm trying to tell you. That thing made me want to dance because can't nothing stop you, Lord. Well, like I'm telling you, and this process, it's real. And I can't really, probably in a year, I could go a little more detailed, with it. But I really just wanted to come on here and say this today because I just want to encourage people, choose God, choose yourself. That's the closest thing to, a lot of people say oh, God is whatever. I honestly believe God resides within. And the better you treat yourself and the more you put yourself first and the more you have faith in yourself, it is in God. It all goes hand in hand with having that faith in God and believing in God. Unless you're worshiping the devil, which if that's your thing, do your thing. But I'm just saying, if you, whatever side you choose, but if you choose the side of holiness and righteousness, I'm telling you, everything just starts to fall in line and you start to get a whole new perspective on your journey and why you don't always get it so fast. But one thing you have to remember though, is that to your outcome or whatever desired outcome, never forget all the blessings or always try and pay attention to the growth and the lessons and the blessings along the way, because that's where the real faith and real love and real believing really comes. But I really just wanted to just give you a little bit of encouragement on the process of going through righteousness and accepting righteousness. And I have a line, forgive everyone except righteousness. Once you decide you choose righteousness, it is so worth it. You come out unrecognizable to most, but to God is all that matters, because that's who you're really doing your work with. That's who you're really doing the work for. Now, I'm not saying everyone is going to want to be disciples. Everybody's not going to want to have a church or a ministry or anything. I know that my purpose is big, and I know that it's beyond me. So I know that I have to learn things about myself, learn things like temper and attitude, and learning to love people through their demons, and learn to love people through their heartache, because they could have been sent to me just for that. So I knew that this wasn't going to be easy. I didn't know it was going to be what it has been, but through this process, it's just been amazing. So I hope this helps somebody. I know I'm kind of like all over the place because I'm not used to talking about this kind of stuff. So eventually I'll get like better with it and stuff. But I hope this helps somebody to choose righteousness over the world, because that really isn't doing nothing for nobody, but keeping us in all these cycles and keeping our traumas alive and keeping us in these dark spaces that serves nobody. It serves literally no one. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you like this, please let me know. If you don't, let me know. But in the comments, tell me why, because I would love to grow from it also. I have these like cute little masks. Look. Like, it's so cute. Like, they're so cute. And it says like, I believe in God. Aww. Love it. It didn't focus. It's not focusing. But thank you so much, guys, again. And this was a little bit uncomfortable for me. I'm not even going to lie, because I'm not used to it. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. And through God, we have the choice to be creative and live to create. So we should create to live, baby. We have everything on this world and on this earth that we need. We don't need all this crazy stuff. We don't need the masses to tell us how to do it. We know what we need to do if we just go within and love ourselves. And until next time, guys, hello.